This is it, the finale of the Golden Bachelorette is right around the corner, and it's time for Joan to decide which of her final two men she wants to be with, or if she's even ready to be with anyone at all. So, for the last time this season, let's take a look at what this preview has to offer, including more insight on a potential breakup before the final rose ceremony. And, as per usual, please, no posting any outright spoilers unless you can back it up with sleuthing, and a link to the full preview is in the description.
This is better than any dream I could possibly have. I am in Bora Bora. I have two great guys that I can see a future with.
I have fallen in love. My intentions are to ask you to marry me.
Okay, so Guy is making his intentions clear. At the end of this, he's going to ask Joan to marry him. But I actually think that this moment might be the death knell for the relationship. In last week's preview breakdown, I talked about this moment with Joan visiting Guy in his room wearing these outfits. The same ones seen here in this bit where Guy is letting Joan know his intentions. I also noted a general somber nature to this hug, with the idea that it's somber because 1, Joan is about to break up with Guy, or 2, that she just did. Maybe she knows that Guy isn't the one, and the moment he brings up how he intends to propose to her, she realizes she has to end things now before it gets to that point. We'll go over more surrounding this moment later on as we get some additional footage for it, so for now, let's continue on.
The future that was looking bleak now looks very vivid to me.
I do love you, and I want to spend my life with you.
And I never in a million years thought I'd feel love like this again. But it's kind of overwhelming.
Alright, now Chalk gets the main focus in this section, and there are a few things to note here other than Chalk expressing a full I love you to Joan. But what I'm mostly looking at, as always, is the outfits. Here, Joan, despite saying things are overwhelming, is looking happy and hopeful in her final rose ceremony dress, but I also just want us to notice how many outfits we see Chalk in versus Guy. In this week's preview, as well as last week, we see at least 2 outfits for Chalk. This one, which we'll later learn is Chalk's getup for meeting Joan's family, and then this one, which could possibly be for the last chance date before the final rose ceremony. However, Guy is only ever seen with Joan in this blue shirt. We do get a shot of him looking pensive in this red shirt, but he's alone here, and it's likely just some sort of B-roll footage that will be shown at the beginning of the episode, with narration from him or Joan thrown on top of it to set up the episode. We see this kind of stuff every episode, especially as things get closer to the end, and Chalk will have it too. But as for Guy footage, this is it. There's just one moment with Joan and Guy thrown into this preview, which could be because this is all the footage left with Guy. It could be that next episode Joan gets sure about her decision fairly quickly and ends things with Guy before any more dates can happen. From there, even if there's just one man left, the question turns to one that Joan has been expressing all season and that she'll refer to up ahead. Is she ready to move forward with a new relationship after the passing of her husband?
Am I asking too much to find a second love? If I had loved Dad so much, would I be able to fall in love again?
This feels so mean. It's hard to be vulnerable again once you've been hurt.
Okay, so once more we have a somber hug with Guy, adding to the idea that this might be the end for them, and we also see Joan with her family for one of the Meet the Family dates, possibly the only one. Note Joan's outfit here, which matches this shot from earlier with Chalk, so we know he'll be there for this date. But all through this segment, Joan expresses whether or not she'll be able to fall in love again after John's passing. I suspect, though, that come the episode, she'll say she is able to, and things are cut up in this preview just to make it seem more dramatic. Also note, there's another serious looking shot with this umbrella, which last week we were able to match to her sit down with Guy. So there's a lot going against Guy in these latest previews. However, this section ends on Joan knocking on someone's door, and while with Guy, the knock on the door appeared to be a lead up to a breakup, here we know Joan is visiting Chalk as her dress matches the one in this shot. And this, to me, looks more like a visit with Chalk for a last chance date, a moment to speak one more time before the final rose ceremony the next day, with this shot being from right after a hug goodbye before she goes back to where she's staying. And any seriousness seen here is more to do with how serious the end of this journey can be, especially when an engagement is on the table, which I do think will happen despite the drama that the preview tries to dish out in this next section.
I'm not going to feel comfortable proposing to someone if they haven't said that they love me.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. This is the last thing I wanted. It just makes me feel like I'm unlovable.
Well, Chalk doesn't feel comfortable proposing to someone who hasn't said I love you back, but he sure is comfortable enough to shoot a scene shirtless looking out a window like a Bond villain. However, I do feel like Joan will eventually express this, either during the final rose ceremony or at their last chance date, maybe inspiring Chalk to say this.
The future that was looking bleak now looks very vivid to me.
I do love you, and I want to spend my life with you.
And also, I think this "I'm so sorry, this is the last thing I wanted" audio from Joan is more likely being said to Guy, and they've added it to footage with Chalk for the drama. Now, as for this comment where Joan says she feels unlovable, I think that this, barring something wildly unpredictable happening, could be something shown at the start of next episode in the fallout of her breakup with Pascal. Not necessarily anything to do with Chalk or Guy. But let's keep going.
It just makes me feel like I'm unlovable.
That's not true. You are so deserving of love. You had it before, and you can have it again.
Alright, Nancy, making her work for that free vacation, I see. But the sentiment here is one that I think narratively will be the button capping off the end of the journey. That all this stuff with Joan questioning if she's ready that's been set up and showcased throughout the season is going to come full circle with Joan realizing she is ready and she's worthy of finding love again. Even though this is reality TV, a series like this has directors and editors building narratives just like a movie or scripted TV. And frankly, sometimes this show is quite scripted. So one of the reasons why they've shown so much of Joan questioning if she's ready is so that the payoff feels stronger when, at the end, she finds she is ready, she is worthy, and we get to see her realize that with a new love. Only problem is with this show, sometimes the ending isn't happy, so they can't always set it up like that. But alright, we're right at the end now, so let's finish this thing off.
I don't know if this is fate or good luck, but I feel like the luckiest person in the world right now. I've only been in love with one person. More than one now.
And there the preview ends, with Joan at the railing of a boat on her way to the final rose ceremony like,
"Hey, look! I'm king of the world! Woo!"
More importantly, she expresses that before she had only been in love with one person, but now two. Chalk will be getting that validation he asked for earlier, and I fully expect the two of them to get engaged. The button on the series, the payoff after all the doubts she's expressed. Let's just hope they last longer than Gary and Teresa. So that's it for this finale preview breakdown for The Golden Bachelorette. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
I've only been in love with one person. More than one now.
Hey, look! I'm king of the world!